Alright, here we are with Kerbal Space Program version 0.2. Right off the bat, changes, you'll notice that this little run unit test thing is over here, although it doesn't seem to be doing anything. I don't know what this is. I didn't read too much on this update. I just saw a couple things, everything. I just kind of started playing around with it to see what was there. So I don't know if they're supposed to let this sit here, if there's like some kind of benchmark test or something, but whatever. I'm recording right now anyway, so it doesn't matter. So let's go and show a few of the changes. Now, I should mention before I actually jump in that there is a new splash page thing. It's a little different when you first load the game up, and it seems to load the parts in a little bit quicker when it's doing that, but I didn't start the recording then, so you'll see it yourself when you first boot the game up after you update. But I was running a couple minor mods. One was called Haystack, where you could select different things and jump to them mid-flight, rather than have to go back to the Space Center and then jump into a different ship. I was using that plugin. I was also using the Lazor Docking port. I was using Protractor and Kerbal Alarm Clock. Well, there seems to be a slight update with the UI, which causes some issues with those mods. I didn't even try Protractor. Alarm Clock didn't work. You couldn't see it. Haystack didn't work. You couldn't see it. I believe it was there running. It's just you couldn't actually click on the menu or open it up or anything. But that isn't such a big issue, the Haystack, and I'll show you why. The other thing is the Lazor Docking port still works. I don't use the full Lazor mod, just the docking port, so I have the camera. That mod still works. However, you can't see the little UI up in the corner to change the options for it. I'll show you that in a minute. So let's go into the save game here. Oh yes, and they added flags. I'll get to that in a minute too. But usually there's up over here in the top left corner, there is a thing. You can kind of see it fading out, maybe, the Lazor Docking port options, but you can't seem to access those. Now let me show you why losing Haystack isn't such a problem. Let's go in here really quickly. First of all, you're going to notice something different in here. You're going to notice a little info over here, and it gives you some info on Kerbin, and if you switch over here to the moon, gives you that. Gives you some info on that. It'll give you info on the stuff you got flying around if you select it. And if it has a crew, you can even look at the crew and their stats, courage and stupidity, and all that good stuff. Now, notice up here, you can select other stuff, like you can even see the debris within this, which you couldn't do before. Even Haystack didn't work to do this. But you might notice, oh wait, how do I have everything selected at once? This messed me up at first until I realized you can just right-click and it'll keep the other things highlighted. So right-clicking will select without deselecting other things. And the same thing goes for when you're actually flying, as I'll show you in a second. So let's go to my space station, which is probably going to be laggy again. Let it load in here. Alright, back to the space station. We're getting ready to move around the dock side here, so see it with all the lights on in full effect. Anyway, let's go to the orbit map. And you'll notice you still have your info on what you highlighted on, focused on, and you still have your crew status in here. And if you go up here, this drops down. And you do the same thing here. Right click so it doesn't deselect anything, or left click to select single things. So even though you don't have the menu for the Haystack plugin, if you're using that, well, you have this, which is nice, and basically works just as good. I mean, I did like having the menu, so I didn't actually have to click on the individual objects, but being able to remove certain objects from view on here pretty much takes care of that. Unless you have a whole bunch of satellites all together, then there's no way you can avoid that. Maybe they'll patch that later. Anyway, so let's go back to this view. Going into the dock, there's a space station all lit up. Oh, actually, I haven't even taken a look at what does it look like IVA. Well, it looks a little different. Maybe not. I can't remember. I know it looks kind of like how it did. I don't know. I'm sure someone will have a better comparison than I do. Anyway, let's move on. Let's go back to the Space Center. Let me show you the flags. You can make your own flag, or you can use one of the stock ones. All these are stock flags, except for these last two, as you can see. Yeah, all you have to do to make a flag is you just have to, I can't remember what the resolution is, it's like 260 by 1 something. I don't know, it's just going to be a PNG file with that, with the correct amount of pixels, which you can easily see by finding these files in your folders under KSP. So, but anyway, so that you could just save your own flags into that same folder, and then they appear here just like that, and then you can select a flag. You can also select a different flag up here for a specific mission. But anyway, we got a few new parts in here. We have the Mach 1 lander can. So if you want a smaller lander, we get that. You have the cupola module, which is a nice window. You have the command seat to use to make like moon rovers and stuff. And you have these two more probe bodies. Was there something else I'm missing? No, I think that was it. These two, and the two probe bodies in the seat. Yeah. So, see, what I like about this is now I have something to match tanks, because what I like to do is I like to make something that can push something up into orbit and link it up with the space station. And then after I link it up with the space station, I don't want that chunk of debris floating around, so I have this attached to a tank, and I fly it back down into the atmosphere and crash land it, so it's gone. And they also did a thing, so you don't have to start with a probe or a capsule. You can just start dropping fuel tanks in if you want. And other than that, I don't think there's too many new parts. Let's see. Oh yeah, there is the other medium-sized wheels, the ruggedized rover wheels. Change the order of all these pieces, which I don't like, because that's gonna mess me up when I'm trying to build stuff. Ah, there is a new engine right here, Rockamet Skipper. Anyway. So there's some of the new parts. So we got the flags, we got the new parts, we got a couple new things. I'm sure there's some other new things I'm missing. But let's start a new game. I was thinking about making a let's play for this, so I think I'll start it here. Maybe I won't. Maybe I will continue it, who knows. Obviously the racing video I do is a priority. So I'm going to make this the new USK. And the flag I already made. the UKKR has gotten way too far ahead on their space program, so the USK is going to join the space race to catch up. And the first thing they need to do is just get something in orbit. Let's call this USK Sat 1. Sat Mark 1. There we go. Good enough. Alright. So, let's see how this thing does. Very basic. Launch. Oh, look, they even got the little flag flying over off to the side. Anything else changed on the launch pad that I didn't notice before? Huh, nothing in particular. Alright. Actually, let's throttle up to about there. I gotta remember that I got no SAS on this thing, so I gotta control this thing all by hand to try to put it into an equatorial orbit. So we want to start leaning towards the 90 degrees. Get ready. 3, 2, 1. And there we go. I intentionally did not use asparagus staging or anything like that right now. I'll get into more of that later. Right now, let's just try to get this thing off the ground. And we do have a little bit of a spin. But other than that, we're going straight in the air. Seems like the perfect speed to go because we don't want to go too fast in the lower atmosphere or we will burn more fuel than we need to. I wish this thing wasn't spinning. I gotta pay attention to the nav ball to make sure it's not going where I don't want it to go. I have to do a few minor corrections, but everything seems to be going straight so far. For the most part. Add a little bit of throttle here. Start picking it up just a tad. It'll also give us a little more control with that gimbling engine in the middle. What in the heck just happened there? Some kind of weird graphical glitch that I've never seen happen before. Well, just gonna bump up the throttle a little more. Getting ready. We're gonna be going over 10,000 in a minute, so. Bump it up even more. We're gonna start the gravity turn, which is gonna be annoying because the thing's spinning. Whoa! Oh, that's a problem. Alright, this is the part where actually, let me start those up again. Okay, this thing went horribly wrong. Let me show you the abort sequence and see if it works. Oh yeah. Okay. Turn the RCS on. Let's try to gain control of this thing. Alright, this is, there we go. The abort sequence worked as it was supposed to. That's good. Alright, so we got this lined up with the ground. Imagine being in atmosphere. It will kind of turn into a straight fall. Yeah, there's our retrograde vector on the nav ball moving towards us. So we're gonna let this fall for a bit, and then it's actually gonna get in thicker atmosphere, and it'll start slowing itself down, I think. Or if not, we'll start the thrust. I can shut the RCS off now if I'm thrusting. I keep getting that weird graphical glitch there, a little artifact. I don't know if that's because I'm running Fraps or if it has to do with the new update. Alright, slow down some more. I just heard the rest of the rocket crash down to the ground. Oh, we're not gonna do it. We're not gonna do it. No, I should have. Hey, the probe body survived. And the battery. Look at that. I can even probably hit the action group 1. Oh, look at that. So the really expensive piece didn't die, I guess. But I guess I should have gave it some more throttle earlier. Anyway, let's end that flight and do what I forgot to do in the vehicle assembly building. And, of course, use space tape. Yeah, I don't know what was up with that weird artifacting. That's, I don't know if that's because if I'm running fraps or not, so whatever. So let's, put some struts on this thing here. Attempt number 2. Throttle back to where I had it before, and boom. What the? Okay, those are my launch supports, and I wonder if that has to do with the laser mod, because even though I only have the docking camera, it causes those to explode on the launch pad to clear debris. It's part of the full mod. So I wonder if that has to do with that mod being installed. That kind of sucks, because I like to have a docking cam. It's very helpful. Oh well. Start our gravity turn here. Yeah, that's what happened. That's how it broke the last time. It wasn't even that. It was just that shit kept falling. Yeah, looks like you don't want the laser docking port on there right now. Well, let's see if I can save it this time. RCS on. Oh no, they just popped up again. Oh, now it's truly done. Alright. Yeah, so it looks like you're gonna have to remove another mod and try this again some other time. Well, until next time. Oh, one more thing I noticed. Look at this rock they added. The mountains are more rocky looking, and around the shoreline and the water and stuff on the islands. Did not notice that before. As we watch all this extra debris fall from the randomly spawning towers, or they just popped up again. Alright, well, okay. For real this time. Until next time.